What is up, Team Happy and Fit? Happy Tuesday. Eric and I have been out of town adventuring, something really cool where building more choices in life is our goal, and living like that, because we were in SoCal and we're like, how long are we staying? I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? There was no pressing thing that we needed to be to. And so that freedom is super nice. And we worked really, really hard for that. We still continue to work really, really hard for that. But I just want to share and show that with you. Today, I was in complete gratitude. Like I was telling her, gratitude in every sense of just like grateful to be alive, grateful for the people in our life, grateful for living fit, grateful for so many things. I honestly, my joy was radiating of, I just couldn't talk about all the things I was feeling so incredibly grateful for. So this is just the added thing. I'm so grateful for this team. I'm so grateful for this collaboration. I just closed my notebook on a lesson I wanted to bring up, and I realized that this moment. I think I can remember it. I'm going to go to it after my brother presents. And I want you to start thinking about this, is who do you want to attract? Who do you want to attract to your life and to this business? And I think that I want to attract people who are grateful. I want to attract people who aren't pessimistic. I want to attract people who are action takers. I want to attract people who really do care about living fit, and I don't have to feel guilty about holding their hand about living fit. That is the thing coaches feel, is that you feel like it's your responsibility to get people results. It's their responsibility to get themselves results, but you give them the tools. You give them the avenue. Right? So sometimes we can deal with that. So let's go ahead and start out with some quick shout outs, and then my brother's going to take it away. I'll introduce him, and then I'll end it with the lesson. I want to give a shout out to Lauren. What the actual heck? Down 33 flipping pounds. Do you want to say something about that? Like that, like you committed? That's what it was. Is that your secret? You just followed a plan and did it? You don't have to unmute if you don't want to, but like, what the heck? That's amazing. And you're busy. You don't have time. This is a big thing that we've talked about. You work in the health professional field, and you were like, I can't let my health go down, right? By pouring into other people. So you decided to take action on that. Down 33 pounds, you guys. That is amazing. Sherry posted a thing in the team page. I haven't commented on it yet. And she said that her husband has been back since her daughter's been born, Aria. And she said that without this team, she doesn't know where she'd be. I thought that was super powerful. She said, I'm so grateful for this team. It makes me feel not as lonely. Like that's incredible, incredible things happening in that way. I want to give a shout out to Elise. We were able to chat. She got on Saturday chat and the best practices last week. Like heck to the freaking yes for someone who's newer to Happy and Fit. Wouldn't you all agree that you continue on your path when you stay connected to the team? That you stick your course when you stay with the team? And you're connected to the team. I would say people who fall off are people who disconnect from the team, hands down. So I love that you did that right away. And I just feel like you're my soul sister in so many ways. But something that I've noticed about Elise is that she's just an action taker, and she's just figuring it out. And she's massively resourceful. If there's one quality of a coach, if you want to attract, it's resourcefulness. I'm there to answer her questions and there to help her, but she's on her way. She's already talking to people what it is that we're doing and just navigating how to get the right amount of information, which by the way, there's no secret. It's just, you have to just try it a lot of times for it to start getting better, right? But I can help you with that, but you have to be willing to take the action, and you are, and I'm super proud to partner with you. All right, Kim Meyer, do you have a shout out?
I have 3 shout outs.
Hey girl.
All right. I love doing shout outs, and we start our team calls with shout outs as well. So I got 3 of them. One, Chandra, who was on the call, I believe, I thought I saw her name, had a very hard day. And instead of like disappearing, she leaned in, and she actually made a super vulnerable post about it, and like was met with massive love from not only our team, but from other people in life as well. And so that was awesome. My second one is for Miss Braden down in the corner. She, in my corner at least, she's halfway to Emerald. She's been on all the team calls. She's massively in on this. She's so connected. She messaged me today and asked about the military discount, and like how there's been some changes that are happening with the fit test. And there's a huge need right now to be able to help all the people in the military with being fit in order to pass their fitness test things. And she's all about it. And I'm so excited for how she's going to be able to serve her niche of people, as well as just everyone in general. And then the massive shout out to Miss Jill Brown. I don't even know if she's on here yet, but I'm sure she will be very soon. And she will listen because she's so plugged in. But Miss Jill Brown found out today she got a message from a Mary Day, and she was like, I don't know who Mary Day is. And then she screenshot and sent it to me and said, Kim, I could cry. She got invited to NLC today, and she is super close to even having like her entire room paid for and all this stuff, because she's, one, a massively amazing leader. Two, she gives and cares so much for everyone. And I'm just beyond excited for her. So she's going to get to go to NLC in February. And I know there are several of you on the screen that are going as well. So I'm excited that you're going to get to go together. Amanda, you're one of them. Yes. All right. So those are my 3 shout outs.
Super cool. NLC is the New Leader Conference. It's the game changer. It's a step up to Summit. It's a lot smaller. It's probably like 300 to 500 people. And how to get to NLC is you have to qualify for 1 star. And how do you get to 1 star? Go Emerald first, and then go Emerald again, and then hit Diamond, and then you'll help someone else do the same thing, which is cool because it's a lot of duplication on your team. We can talk more about how to qualify for that later, but definitely set that on your list of like, I would love to attend that. It changed the game for me. It really opened up my eyes to a lot of possibilities. I want to do more shout outs, but I also want to give my brother like the time he has here. So welcome TJ Kulig. He's been doing 1 call a month, and he is a marketing guru. He just knows his stuff, and he is just taking the time to share with our team. Some of it may be stuff you really don't understand yet, especially if you're newer and getting into social media and things like that. But what I love about this is an archive. This is something we can go back to. This is something that as you're building your brand, which is you, by the way, you are your brand. You are not Beachbody. But as you continue to build your business, you'll add more things in. Like you might have to just get used to posting on social media regularly, and then you just build from there. Trust that. But what he brings to the table here is opening up our eyes that you will never have to close the door to your business. If you're strategic, you don't have to feel like there's never enough people, which is definitely something some people feel, that everyone's a coach. No. It's just, let's get more strategic with how you connect with people, if that makes sense. So TJ, all the way from West Palm Beach, it's like 9:12 there. Thank you for being on. I've known you my whole life, and I love you.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna be together forever. I love it. So hey, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you again for another month of doing this. Some of you, we were scheduled for last week, but it was my birthday, turned 38. So holler for that. So I'm happy to be here this week. I've missed you guys, and I'm excited to catch up and kind of keep it going. Where we're at today is the 3rd cycle, where now we're starting over into the final chapters, if you will, of this year-long journey that we've gone on. We started with the first one of introductions to websites, to email, to social media, to analytics, right? The second cycle, if you will, we talked about increasing traffic to your website, increasing email subscribers, increasing followers, and understanding that through your analytics. So today we start with the selling portion, right? So this week, next month, then the month after, we're all going to be talking about the topic is going to be selling. So so kind of keep that in mind that, you know, we've already covered a lot of the basics with this. And like Julianne said, this is archived, and really we'll get better at it, but it should be able to be watched or viewed or digested all in order, right? Okay, so I think we get that. All right, cool. Let me jump into this. Dun, 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 dun. Present. Share screen, right? I got to do that first. Hey, guys. It's like my first time doing this, right? Okay. Hold on a second. Oops. Can you guys see this okay? Not Kim? No, can't see anything? All right, cool. I just reset my computer today, so it's asking me to...
We could see your background. We just couldn't see the presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, well, give me a second, because when I went to share, it asked me for preferences. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. You're totally fine. It's no big deal.
Yeah, but...
No, you're fine. Lisa Locke, what the heck? Going to Rise weekend in January, which is where in Florida? Is it in Florida? Not Pensacola. Where is it? Fort Myers. Where is Fort Myers? Is Fort Myers northern Florida or southern Florida? I have no idea. Does anyone know? Elise? TJ?
So it's not working at all when I hit that.
That's okay.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? We're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, where you're gonna get the talking head. All right.
Hey, are you good with that? Because I can start my lesson. Or
no, I'm totally okay with it, because really, a lot of it is it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. We roll with it. We make it work. That's the name of the game. Okay. So really, I'm trying to pull it up on my other screen, guys. Here we go. Let's just switch this. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So today we're going to be talking about selling through a website. And you can see how sometimes technical issues can be a hurdle to jump over. And what Julianne was saying before, diversifying your portfolio, using Facebook, leaning on LinkedIn, even Instagram, Twitter, they all have their unique ways for it. So today we're talking about a website, a landing page, but there's many ways to use different pages, right? So first and foremost, this is hard to do without the visual example, but I can do it. So I had a big announcement today, which was really, really exciting on my end, was I'm officially moving towards being my own business. So just like how you guys are going down your journey, it's fun to kind of talk and kind of be like, hey, this is really cool. You guys can do it. This is great. But, I'm literally in here with you. So I was really going to show you the new webpage that we put together and kind of use that as an example of, how to kind of sell yourself online. So the idea of it is to use one landing page. So if you're fortunate enough to invest into your own website, you buy the domain, maybe it's 10, 15 bucks, you get the hosting for it, maybe it's 10, 15 bucks a month, really relatively cheap. You get your basic template down. Now what? Now you have a website. What do? You might have an about page where you've gone on there and you've written this extensive story of how you've gotten here and what you're doing and why you're doing it and all this stuff. You might have another page on the services that you offer, from like coaching to just support to actual products that you have with the Beachbody. So the idea of a landing page is to simplify that as much as possible. That when we talked about it last month and we were talking about social media and going through increasing followers, it's really a funnel approach, right? You're trying to get as many people as possible on the top of the funnel, and then the ones that really want to be in here, they're interested. They take a step, they click a link, they communicate to you, they reach out to you. They do some sort of action that qualifies them to take that next step. So your landing page is going to be the same way, right? You want it to be, here we go. All right, you want it to be, your call to action. You're going to want it to be like upfront. What are they here for? What are they wanting to do? So if you have your landing page, my call to action is just to contact us, right? To explain all the services that I offer and all the products or anything that they can get involved with. I just want them to reach out. So I keep it simple, right? I have a short, small history, like in a little bit about section. We were founded in 2016. We're a not-for-profit. We work with other charities. That's it. It's plain and simple, right? The services and products and the solutions that are offered. We work with the marketing side of these, for small businesses, for organizations. We help them with their awareness. We help them with fundraising. We help them with the reporting, right? And then now that they know a little bit about me, they know a little bit about what I do, that call to action again, reach out. Here's the contact form. Just go ahead and just take that next step, okay? So really your landing page, you want it to be simple. You want to get to the point. You want to know why they're there. And then just get them to reach out to you or take that next step. Okay. So if you don't have a landing page, if you hadn't take the time to invest in, a resource that's 24/7, that's always available, that anybody can go to and find you anytime that they want, maybe you're going to lean a little bit more heavy on Facebook. Okay. You can create a group for anything, right? You guys learn this. You guys all have your groups. You guys have different teams. You guys have different communities that are on Facebook. So you can have a group just for a one-time sell. Maybe it's an offer that you're trying to push for this month and you want to do coaching, right? So you have a group that just has a little bit of information about it that people can go to learn a little bit more about what this service is. Okay. So the service might expand, and I'm just using these examples, guys. So just bear with me if, just fill in the blanks is what I'm getting at. So if you have this group and you want to do coaching, you might have your about, this is what it's all about, this is what you're going to get, this is what it does. If you're more interested in it, you can participate or, learn a little bit more about it. So maybe the group is a wrong word for what I'm trying to describe here, but there's ways in Facebook to get communities to drive traffic that's not necessarily just your page. It can be something that's dedicated just to this topic that allows other people to come together to maybe discuss what that problem or that solution might be. So using Facebook can be, sneak peeks. Those are really, really great. Okay, so like Instagram, for instance, okay? So Instagram's not a website. You're not going to convert any sales on there. You're not going to be able to, do much besides somebody reaching out directly to you, okay? Instagram, though, has a great ability to drive traffic to one link and one link only, and it's only in your bio, right? You can't put a link on a photo. You can't put a link in a comment. You can't put a link anywhere else. The only place you can put it is right there in your bio. So if you do have a Facebook landing page or a Facebook group page or a website landing page that you've put together, Instagram is a great way to help promote that and to visualize that and to use examples and to exemplify what it is that you're trying to sell. Maybe it's a 5-minute conversation that you're, talking about, hey, I'm doing coaching. I had a great story with, a client the other day, and they were sharing with me how they had a really rough day, and we walked through it, we talked about it, and we prioritized, and we made a list, and we came through with solutions, and I feel like they're really much in a better place. If you want to learn more about this and you want, to experience this, visit my link on here, so on. Okay. So that's selling through, a landing page, if you will, but like it's trying to drive traffic. Eric, a shout out to you. I know that we're in the shout out theme and I like that. That's a great way to start a meeting. But Eric, a shout out for you, as I saw a video today, I think it was today, of kind of a behind the scenes of you and Julianne, right? It was a music video. Really well done. That's a fantastic way to help drive traffic, to learn more, to find out what about, he's in the back. Hi. To find out how to take those next steps, right? So if you're on your Instagram and you want to, drive traffic and use your landing page, or to learn more about this, posting a video like that is a fantastic spot. Twitter works the same way, and LinkedIn works the same way. So one note that I did have on here was the coach link generator. Now, Julianne, I know that you and I use this, but does everybody that's on this call, do they have access to something that's similar to that for them?
Yep, they all have their own. Yep, they have their own. Okay. For sure.
Okay, because this is genius, right? Like this helps out. Like if anybody on this call ever says, I don't have a landing page, I don't have a sell page, I just have my own Facebook and what I'm doing and my Instagram and my own brand, but I want to make money. Like I have products to sell, like actual products. It's through Beachbody, it's through Shakeology and all this other stuff, but I have products. Well, what they do is they give you this coach link generator, right? And you plug in your little coach ID and it gives you all this stuff. I mean, the examples that I pulled up for this were the pumpkin spice plant-based vegan Shakeology. Now that one might be a little bit specific or whatever it might be, but the pumpkin spice is why I clicked on it. Why? Because this is the time of year that everything's pumpkin spice. Everything is pumpkin spice. So you can take that link with your little coach ID in there, and when you share it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever it is, and anybody clicks it, your information is already logged in there. So even if they click for the pumpkin spice plant, Shakeology thing, and maybe that's not it. Maybe they don't want to make the purchase, but they go to something else. Maybe they go to another example that I pulled up, clothing, right? Like all the Shakeology, the yoga pants, the shorts, all those things, it still comes under your name, right? So when somebody makes a purchase and it's from your link, anything that they do on the website, wherever they go from there, you're going to get the credit for. So if pumpkin spice isn't their thing, maybe it's, hey, it's fall, it's time to work out, it's time to get in shape before that winter. You got the holidays coming up, you got some other stuff. You need some new workout pants, you need some shorts, you need a new sports bra, maybe a tank top, something like that. Check out this awesome collection here. These prices are fair, they're great, and I can attest to you from a personal testimony that they work. So you're using yourself to exemplify what some of these are, but you already have a great resource that Beachbody provides. And I think the other example I had was some of the Tupperware, the container kits, some of the bands, some of the other supporting accessories. If they're not maybe wanting to commit to, where should we put those general links? Okay, so Instagram, right? There's only one link. You can take that link and you can put it on Instagram. That anybody that clicks on your profile and goes from there, they'll go directly to that link, right? You can include it on Facebook. You can make it as just a normal post, just like you guys do when you find a great article or another video or something that's inspiring that you want to share. You take that link, you go on Facebook, you add it in there. This works the same way, right? So exactly. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I'm agreeing to comments that you guys can't see. Well,
no,
maybe
for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and on this. So Jill, it's called BB Links Generator, and if you type in your coach ID, it will be specifically everything to you. So every product that you're affiliated with Beachbody, Energize, things like that. You can tailor just to you. So some ideas that I have is, Linktree for sure, if you wanted to add more there. But I'm thinking of someone like Melanie Mitro, who built her entire business using a blog. She blogged before social media was popular. And so what she would do is she would run through a testimony. Say she did the 21-day fix. She would have her before and after picture. She would share what she learned in the program. She would share this whole journey, and then she'd say, if you want to get started, click this. If you want more, or if you want to get going on your own journey, click here. So on her landing page of her specifically talking about MM100, I guarantee she has one out on her blog right now. And it's a specific sign up link to MM100. So I would say that is powerful in a website with a testimonial. I would say that the swipe up feature with Instagram, if you have that, is powerful. I would say on your main Instagram, usually sometimes people get turned off if they see Beachbody because they want to get to know you. They want to understand who you are as an individual. But Linktree is great, especially if you did a Linktree and you were like, so I call Hydrate my electrolyte boost. And so say I put a Linktree out there, I would write link or electrolyte boost. I would brand it to what I say it and call it as my own personal thing. What do I call Energize? My coming to life juice? I don't know. Whatever. In my Linktree, I would label it as that so people know, oh, that's what I think. Ashley Molstead has done that too. So TJ, keep going. Sorry.
No, but you bring up a really great point, right? So, we talk about the benefits of having a website, being 24/7, being, you can write custom content in there. You can put whatever you want on there. It's your page, it's your store, it's your brand. But another benefit is what Julianne just said. When you're using a link and it says Beachbody or something like that, some people right off the bat are just, it's plain and simple. It's not for everybody, and they get turned off by it. So there's ways that you can hide the URL, you can shorten it, you can use a Google short link or, different items that just makes it not so noticeable. But if you had your own website, if you had your own blog, the plugin for it, you could create your own blog post. You can write this all down on there. You can show your photo, you can show your journey, you can show the example that you need, and then you can include that link. So it really does help from that branding standpoint. So some of the other things that I wanted to talk about were some additional tips, right? If you have your landing page, that's fantastic. If you don't, and you're using Facebook or using social media to really, drive your traffic and drive your sales, these are some items that might be able to help, and they apply to both of them, right? So testimonials and reviews, okay? Can't stress it enough. If somebody sends me a message on LinkedIn and they're asking for advice and they want to, maybe know some next steps in their career or whatever it may be, after I give them a little bit of advice, the next thing I ask is, if this is helpful and you enjoy this, please leave me a review. Please go down there and just take the 5 minutes and do this. And if they do, that's fantastic. If they don't, you just keep moving, but you have to ask, right? Facebook, the same thing. When you're having a business page and you're starting to build, people coming there, those reviews and those testimonials are big. Those are big helpful items when you're trying to build that trust with somebody. And what you can do with those testimonials and those reviews, even if it's in an email, you can respond back. You want to get their permission, always get their permission, but you can get it and use it on your own website or use it on your Facebook and remove their name or whatever it may be and saying, hey, I was just talking to a customer today and they had some wonderful feedback. Here it is, right? So those help, generate the camaraderie or the likeness, among the community. When you're out there and you're sharing this stuff and you're doing this, people want to see that you're genuine, that you're yourself, and that other people like this. So the testimonials and reviews are really helpful. The blogging content, Julianne kind of referenced this a little bit ago, but when you have your own page, you're able to put your own blog and you're able to share that blog. One of the issues that we're having now, I was talking with Kim this morning. I'm sorry to put you on blast here, but we're trying to work through some issues where this step right here is hurting her, and how to share some of the, tiny girl is the thing here, but how to share those, some of the content and to get that out there and to make sure that people are to see it. It makes a big difference, and it really does help. Be patient, keep moving. Just that's pretty much what it is. Educate and lead by example, right? You want to, inform the people, the people that are going to be seeing this, the people that are going to be understanding, seeing this post. They might not know Beachbody. They might not understand it. They might not even know how to prioritize or even understand basic concepts that a lot of you already grasp, right? So it's important to educate. It's important to, say what this, improves more than just your appearance, more than just your financial flow, more than just your happiness and, and all these other items. But you really, you explain those things. And then last but not least is you lead by example. You show what you're doing. You're not going to get those results each time. You're going to get it when you look back at these large, steps, right? It's kind of funny because you always think, like, I use this analogy all the time, like that if your life was this long or whatever it is, like we're at like this little spot right here, like this is it, right? We can't see the whole picture because like we're right here. But when you look back and you start to look at these things, you start to see these major milestones. And as you're posting and as you're driving, as you're showing, you're educating, you're leading by example, you're getting testimonials, you're getting reviews, you're being patient, you're coming up with content, you're getting all this stuff out there. You're not going to see that improvement in your marketing and your sales, that overnight switch, right? Unless you have a product that's like simply fire that everybody needs and it's just the biggest thing in the world. That's not how it works. So it's a journey. You got to grind at it. But leading by example and looking back and seeing that, like, you are making progress. It applies to your fitness. It applies to your marketing. It applies to, building your brand. So, I'm sorry, Julianne, for not having the presentation, but I'm trying to, that's kind of what I got.
Good. Don't even worry about it. We appreciate you giving us your time and your insight, and you just are so knowledgeable about it. It doesn't matter the technical things, just the fact that you give us your time means a lot to me. Seriously, if you guys don't know, it's pretty full circle for me because my brother's like, I had to unfollow you because you post all the time, and I still did it anyway. And it's full circle that he's here now, like, sharing his heart and his knowledge, and now he's running his own online business and all these things. And it's just like, you've got to, because I knew where this was going to go, and it's cool to be able to be, he's like, that's awesome. Like, you still, it didn't matter what I said, it didn't matter what I thought, like, you just kept on going, and I'm so massively proud of you, T. Like, I love you so much.
I love you too. I still don't follow you, but I love you. All right, guys. Thank you for your time, everybody. Enjoy and best of luck, and I'll see you guys next month.
Thanks. Oh my gosh, that is so ridiculous and so funny. If you guys don't know, my family is very blunt and very honest. I'm an 8 on the Enneagram, and what did I posted that thing today of like, if you want to know how to be around me, it's don't take things so personally or something, or don't get massively offended. I don't know. It's so true. We're just blunt. So go ahead and get out your paper and pen. By the way, so I just think all of these coaches that I used to follow in the beginning of my coaching journey did this. They put links to things on their websites and things like that. And it's just so smart. And so something you can do on your Instagram is you could even do a Google Doc. I know that Morgan Schaefer has a coaching one. I have one. So on your Instagram, you can make a quick form. Google form is what I mean. And of an application on how to get started. If you go to my Instagram right now, it's MM100. So something that I encourage you to do is, what is a community that you would love to be the front runner of? So we have Happy and Fit, and that's always going to be there for you to invite to. But what if you did like moving mamas. If you're a mama and you who are you trying to help, right? I'm trying to help women get fit at life. And so I have Building Better Habits is an online community that I have. We have the Mission Move for Me, right? That is our MM100 group. So you can brand a group to you. I've done Baby Bump Mama, right? Where it's like, I want to help all women who are pregnant. Maybe it's postpartum mamas. And so you make a Google form specifically for moms, and then they fill it out, and then you help them get started with Beachbody tools, and then you put them in a community of support together. That's something that you can do. So go ahead and get out your paper and pen. This is an old school lesson that I just feel like will bring the energy to you in September. Again, I want you to reflect and close the gap. Why do you get on these calls? Why did you become a coach? Why are you a part of this team? And why do you see that there's something more for you? I remember when I first got started, I just knew I was made for more and I didn't know what it was. I legitimately thought in order to be successful in life, you had to have a college degree. That is what I was brought up to know. And the thing, if you know me, is that I'm not a good test taker. I have major test anxiety, and I wasn't good at school. So that made me feel inadequate, and that made me feel dumb. That made me feel like I could not amount to anything in the worldly standards. But still, something deep within me, I was like, I know I'm made for more, but how can I do this the rest of my life? How can I be a teacher when I'm feeling so depleted? How can I be a teacher when I'm so stressed? How can I be a teacher when I'm barely making ends meet? This is it. Or I have to go back to school. I don't even like school. I'm not even good at school. And I was stressed about that decision. And then legitimately in the perfect most timing that is supposed to happen, I heard a Zoom like this and I was moved. I was moved because the conversation in my life wasn't this. The conversation that is of this team is about bigger dreams. It's about pushing us to potential. It's about talking about how can we help people. There's no downside to fit. There's no downside to health. There's no downside to positive friendships. There's no downside, right, to living your best life. There's no downside on making impact and income. There's not. When you have all of the right integrity, you have all the right motives, and you genuinely want to transform your life and other people's life, other lives. There's no downside to that. So I think about that and I'm like, why am I here? Why do I keep plugging into these team calls? Why does this matter? This is where I get filled up, because you want to know something? It is so easy for all of us to second guess ourselves. Can I really do this? This is a lot scarier than I thought it would be. I thought more people would join me than they have. Have any of you ever felt that way? I thought right away, I was like, oh, maybe people are just going to join me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not made for this because I don't know anything. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not having the success like I used to have. What's wrong with me? Guess what? This is not broken. What we're doing is not broken. What we are doing, it is not a saturated market. I am telling you this right now. When you can get so good at coaching yourself out of the funks, through the hard, when you can get so good at coaching yourself to show up when you're so tired and you just don't want to press play, but you do anyway, there's power in that. There's so much power in the fact that you want to surround yourself with people who dream bigger and have better visions. It's a huge thing when you start to make sacrifices in your life that require you to level up. You sacrifice TV, you sacrifice small talk, you sacrifice surrounding yourself with small thinkers. You start to sacrifice not going out on the weekends. You sacrifice, right? Maybe sleep to build a dream that you know that can give yourself more choices and your family more choices. Why are you here? What has this done for you? I come to these calls because it helps me process my thoughts. Sometimes the things you're thinking, but you don't know how to put out into words, someone says it and it clicks. Maybe you jump on these calls because it gives you more confidence in the direction of where you're going. It's a validation that you need because it's hard to work a business by yourself. I'm very grateful that we don't have to. And I really do think that these team calls give us the idea and the known that, oh my gosh, we all want each other to win. We champion each other. We want the success for each other. And so on these calls, we collaborate, we brainstorm, we push each other to not give up through the hard. And I just need you to know, if you're feeling a certain kind of way today, you're in the right space. Maybe life is sucking the life out of you. Maybe there's certain seasons that you're walking through that you just don't know what your next step is. Maybe you're really confused, or you're doubting yourself, or life is just really difficult at the moment. Maybe this is exactly where you need to be to remind you that this is just temporary, that this season they come and go, and that you are just being made for more, that you're learning and you're building this armor to keep on going, right? That you're learning and trusting this process, that maybe what I'm going through right now is only making me stronger. I can't see it yet because I'm in the thick of it. But the cool thing is about surrounding myself with a kick-ass community is that they're breathing belief into me when I feel a little bit breathless, but yet they're showing me that I'm just going to make it. Are you with me in that? Why are you here? I think that surrounding myself with this type of conversation makes me want to have more conversations like this. Instead of surrounding myself with, let's just figure out what's wrong with so-and-so, let's figure out what we love about them. That's what this business has taught me, is that when I'm feeling frustrated, I can lean on gratitude first. That when I'm feeling scarcity and feeling a little fearful of my future, I can think about, wow, I've made it this far. I know I can make tough decisions again, and that it's going to work in my favor. Because once we make those decisions, we don't know what it would have worked out the other way, right? Because we made this decision and we just trust that. Have you made hard decisions before? Ones that were so scary and you made it through it, right? That's exactly what life is. And I love being surrounded by all of you, because this is the conversation we get to have to remind ourselves that we're in this life together. I want you to think about this. So as you're building your team, and by the way, the people, the coaches who make the most money in this business are the ones who've built a team. Let that sink in for a second. The coaches who have made the most money in this business are the ones who've built a team. And let me tell you, the team is my favorite part. There's nothing wrong with that. There's this complex women have, and I've worked through that, and I'm no longer there. So let me be the guiding voice for you. There is nothing wrong with making impact and income. You deserve it, sister. Maybe your whole life you didn't think that you could and that you should. And that was me. I grew up very poor. Electricity would shut off, poor. Fridge empty type of poor. Cars breaking down kind of poor. Feeling super embarrassed all the time at school, poor. But I had a heart of love, and now I see how that made me. I was always the underdog. It's cool. I work well as the underdog. It's fine. But what I've learned to work through since starting this business 5 years ago, lifestyle, it's so hard to just call it a business because we all know it's so much more, right? This business teaches us about life and how to live it better, more fit, right? So over the past 5 years, I've really figured out what my limitations in life have been, and they no longer serve me. They no longer ever serve me, and they no longer will be the leading guide of my life, which was money was hard to come by and that I'm not smart. Those are two things I lived into every day of my life. Life is always hard if it's meaningful, right? Or life is meaningful if it's always hard. That was a lie I believed. And I remember my mom, I share this story often, but I think it's important for repetition. Repetition's important. That's why I remember key phrases so much. That's why I quote Trina Gray so much, is because those key phrases have changed my life. As I've gone through this, it's these phrases that seriously have impacted me so much. I'm going to share that in a second, but I just need you to understand something, is that maybe there's a limitation that you're believing, that you're living into. My mom said this. She said, I would share my story. And I honestly think that's how I've gotten here today. It's not because I knew everything in Beachbody in the back office. I didn't even know how we made money. I didn't really understand why signing up for your spouse was important to go Emerald. I didn't know why Emerald was important, but I knew that I needed to because my mentors told me. And I trusted them because one of them had already made $1 million and the other one was on her way to making $1 million and who now has made $1 million. So I trusted them because they were in this longer than me. They figured it out. Maybe I didn't need to know all the answers right away. But my mom said this. She said, Julianne, I didn't know you struggled so much. And I looked at my mom and I said, I didn't know either. It was like this journey awakened me. It woke me up. It woke me up to my true self. It woke me up to my true potential of what was possible. Because honestly, all I looked forward to in life was Sunday sports, small teacher talk, and I lived through other celebrities, thinking that they just had all these great lives. And now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, I love my life. I love it. I love the people that I get to surround myself with. I love that it's not always easy, but that's what I love about it. I actually love the challenge. Instead of trying to hide from it or ignore it or suppress it, I take it full on and say, let's go. Let's do this thing. Clearly, this is in my path to make me a better person. And to be able to articulate that just makes me so proud, because I could never even understand. We didn't know. I didn't know that money was hard to come by. I just thought it was always hard to come by. I didn't know that, oh, money is plentiful. There's enough out there. Money isn't evil. Money is not bad. When you have a lot of money, doesn't make you a bad or greedy person. Actually, when you have a lot of money, you don't need all the nice things. I thought automatically if you have a lot of money, you just buy a lot of nice things. In fact, that's false. You can have a ton of money, right, and give it away. Sarah Blakely is a self-made billionaire, and she said she's given away all of her money, all of her wealth. Not all of it, let's be real. She's probably like still living pretty well. But she's like, it's just fun making money. I don't really need it. Like, it's just fun. The game is fun. I'm like, man, I wish more of us thought like that. Money isn't bad. And for me to be able to say that with such confidence took a lot of work in my heart and in my head, because that is maybe an obstacle you might face in this business, is feeling guilty. I feel weird about, offering a challenge pack. Oh man, it's a little bit difficult that someone would have to pay something to join alongside me. But do you do it? Do you believe in it? Do you walk it? Do you have Beachbody on Demand? Do you have Energize? Do you drink Shakeology daily? Girl, this is changing your life. That could change that person's life. Own it. Even help someone with something, right? Even if that's Shakeology, whatever it is, like, do it. Instead of running your business as a volunteer-only business. However, giving value is everything. And that's what I've done the last 5 years. I've just given value every single day. I've just shared my story, my journey, where I'm going, where I am, where I've been, stumbling blocks that I have, fears that I have, reflections that I have, something that someone said. That's probably like what I post about the most, is something that someone said and the thought that I have about it, right? And just being able to share my heart in that way. So my question to you is this, is that if coaches make the most money who build a team, right? I want you to think about this. What do you want your team to say about your leadership? Whether you have a team now, you're on your way to building one, or you're going to build one in the future. And by the way, the future is wide open, my friends. It is yours, whatever you want to do. Happy and Fit was my vision before it was even real. It was just me, myself, and I. And I would jump on these calls and it would just be me, myself, and I. I still, every time when I log in, I'll be like, oh my gosh, what if it's just me? I'll still show up because that's what I did then. I still would get on and it would just be me. It was no big deal. I believed I had vision. What do you want your team to say about you? Because when you start acting into that role, you start attracting that type of vibe. When you start acting into what you would want your team to think about you, that's how you project yourself as a mentor and leader before your team is even there. It's never the success of the arrival. It's all about the journey to building there, to getting there, to walking there, to running there, however the heck you get there. You've made a detour, welcome back. Comeback kids are my favorite in this, because you are back. Like, you're here, you're ready to go, you're ready to shine. For me, I want them to say that I honor my commitments. Would you say that that might be true? I'm here, I'm committed, I'm not going anywhere. I'm very faithful to leading and mentoring on Happy and Fit. I would love that my team would say that I'm not going anywhere. Julianne's so solid in this. She's 2 feet in. I don't even have to question that. She's so in it that it makes me want to be 2 feet in. She's so in this, it makes me so excited about it. Maybe you were having a real crappy day And I was able to say something tonight that just completely redirected your thought process of the path of where you want to go. Because your old self is going to try so hard to get in front of you to distract you of where you want to go. I had a lot of that building this, and I still do sometimes. I hope that my team would say that I want you to win. That more than anything, I want you to maximize your results in this. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm not just talking financially, but when I just saw a picture of Brittany with Lisa tonight. Was that tonight? Did you guys get together tonight? That brought freaking tears to my eyes. I still need to go comment on it, but I'm like, dude, are you serious? My computer's about to die. Eric's coming to the rescue. But when I hear that Caitlin Green is coming to NorCal and Nikki and her and I are about to get together and we're figuring out a plan for that, like, do you know what that means to me? Like, that is amazing. I hope that you know that I want you to win, that I want whatever you want from this. And if you want financial freedom, girl, I am on your side. Like, I'm cheering for you. The one thing in my advice is just don't quit. Trust that you're going to figure this thing out. And the best part is I'm still figuring it out. I just have a work in progress. It's not one destination. It's just a constant evolving of growth. And I love that. I hope that you would know, I hope that my team would know that my belief is unshakable with this journey. I truly love Beachbody. I love it. I think what we have is game changing. I think health and wellness is for life. We're the #1 trending gym in the world, and we're only in 3 countries. Think about that. We're #1. We got like ahead of the game. We're constantly evolving. I believe in Beachbody as a company so much. Like, they're so innovative. They're so remarkable. If you go listen to the Shakeology podcast, your belief in Shakeology will just grow, 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 grow. I love it. The way that they don't compromise how they make it. Elise, I was just thinking of this and I wanted to message this to you. To the person who, Elise is amazing, you guys, and she's helping someone with something next week. Like, what the actual heck? That is so incredible. Can we just like give her some like cheers? Like, that's so good, right? Where I was thinking about how this person is using other supplements, which is totally fine. Like, we've all been there, right? Like, I've had people who've done different things, but they wanted Beachbody on demand or whatever. I was thinking about this. A good question to ask her sometime is, what would be is the only thing holding you back is that you wouldn't drink it? Is like the #1 thing you're worried that it's just going to sit on your counter? Are you worried you're going to like it more than your other supplements? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen with you getting this? That you'll like it or that you'll hate it? Because I, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't stop getting that out of my head because I was like, oh, like, it's a deal. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Is that the only thing holding you back? Is because you have other supplements. I believe in this so much. I believe in this team so much. I think you all are so rad. I think it's so cool how we're all so different, and yet it just makes sense. We all make sense together. We all lead different lives. We all have a lot of stuff going on. I don't understand you medical people, nurses, like, all you guys are just like, school is your thing, I think. I don't know. Otherwise, you made it through. Congratulations. Like, I just am like in awe of you. When I'm hanging around Morgan Brill or Lisa Locke, I'm like, you've got to talk in Julianne terms. You're saying things. I don't know what you're saying. And they're like, oh, the flu. I'm like, got it. I know what that is. And so it's just amazing that so many of us are so different. You farmer people, like, your pictures are so beautiful. Like, you just don't have buildings in your pictures. Like, if I were to take a picture outside, you'd see like 500 people in a small radius. Like, it's just fields. And I'm like, wow, like, we're so different. we're so different. I turned down Florida Georgia Line. Is that the name of the band? My friend is going on this weekend, and I'm like, you're fun. She's like, I know you don't like country, and I'm like, I'm not going, but I really appreciate the invite. Like, I just don't know if I'd be that fun with you. But I know you all Iowans love that stuff, right? Whatever that may be. I know they did a song with BSB, and that I did love that song. So that's credibility to that. We're all so different. We are all so different, but doesn't it just make sense? Isn't it cool that we can be so massively different, but so massively on the same mission of living fit? I think that is so cool. I hope that's what you would say about me. And so what I do is I live into that. If I want my team to know that I honor my commitments, I'm going to honor my commitments then. If that's what I want them to say about me, if that's what I want you to say about me, I'm going to honor my commitment. I'm going to continue deepening my belief in this for you and for myself. I want you to think about that. I want you to show up as her. Show up as who you want to be in the future. Show up if you want to build a successful team, show up as her now. Use Happy and Fit, Rise and Fit, Resilient and Free as that platform of a team, and invite people to that team until you're ready to build your own. But show up as that leader, show up as that mentor, show up as that person who has belief, show up as that person who honors her commitments and doesn't break promises to herself. Show up as that person. If you see yourself being like so physically fit, anyone looking at Lacey and being like arm freaking goals? Yes, right? Show up as her. So when you are tired in the morning, you remind yourself of who you're made to be. And then you honor those commitments. You show up because you know where you're going in life. And do you want to know something? I think that there are a lot of people in life who've hit pause and that they don't know where they're going and they're not going anywhere. They're just going to their couch and they're just going to watch Netflix every single night. It's so predictable. But here you are on a Tuesday night making some kind of sacrifice, whether that's with your precious little baby, whether that was dinner with your family, whether that was cuddling with your husband, whatever it was, you're making some kind of sacrifice to be here right now because you have bigger and better dreams right now that you know that it's not convenient, but it's going to lead to a life of convenience. You know right now that maybe you're making those sacrifices because this is exactly what you need to fill your soul to get to where you want to go. Congratulations, that's what it takes. Show up as her. Be confident as a leader. Be confident in the leader you want to be, right? Give, don't take. Give. Pour out, share what you're doing, share it to the team positive quotes, like share why you love this team, build belief in other people on Happy and Fit, and I guarantee your belief will start to deepen. Last thing before we get off, who do you want to build a business with? Who do you want to build a business with? Think about it. We're all so massively different and intricate, and it's so cool. I want to build a business with people who want to be an advocate for health and fitness. I want to attract people who want to live fit and who have bigger dreams. I want to attract people who want to change their life. I want to light a fire in more people and create fire in other people. I want people to be inspired. I want people to pay off debt. I want people to not have to say no to their kids. I think that is something that is so heavy on my heart, is like, I'm not talking toys at Target or things like that. I'm talking about like when my sweet Faye is 15 and there's a cool opportunity across the country for her to go serve a mission trip or do whatever, that she goes, Mom, like, can I do this? That I can say, I think that's phenomenal. I think that's a great idea. Let's figure out a way to make that happen. I never want to have to think and say no to an adventure with Faye, an opportunity for Faye, and something that's going to mold her and guide her to become the person and woman she's meant to be. And that alone gives me more fire to honor my commitments. But I want to work with other moms like that. I don't want to work with moms who are on the sidelines. I want to work with moms who are in the game. I want to work with moms who aren't just saying and telling their kids to dream big, but I want to work with the moms who are dreaming big, because after all, isn't it what we model versus what we say? If we want our kids to be healthy and happy, that starts with us. If we want our kids to have fulfilling relationships, that starts with us. It's what we model. I learned this lesson. Faye is 2 months tomorrow. Like, what in the heck? I'm blinking and I can't do anything about it, except for she's getting so fun. And it's this conflict of wanting to freeze time, but yet so excited, right? Like, of the future. It's just this weird conflict that I'm having. But I was saying, I didn't grow up Christian. And I am a Christian now, and it matters so much to me, and it matters for me for her to have faith. But something that I realized is that I can't force anything on her, nor do I want to. Because when I've seen people forced with stuff like faith, they turn away. They don't want anything to do with it because their parents forced it, right? I didn't have that. It was like the opposite. I was like, man, it's going to be what I do. If I want Faye to work on her mindset with personal development, it's going to be her seeing me do that at 5:30 in the morning as she like comes downstairs and just every day just sees me listening to stuff in the car that's positive and breathing life into us. That church is never an obligation, but it's an excitement. It's never, oh, I'm so tired. It's, oh, I can't wait to see what we're going to learn today. It's that kind of mindset that's going to transform Faye. It's not what I'm going to tell her. It's what I'm going to model for her. And I think that that's our business. If you want people to join alongside you, it's not what you tell them, it's what you show them. And it's how you show up. And it's how you show up even when they say no. It's how you show up even when they reject you. And they're rejecting themselves. It's a mindset thing. It's when someone mocks you. It's when someone says, oh, you're doing that. And they start to pour their negative beliefs into you, and you show up anyway, right? My brother told you he doesn't follow me anymore. Like, he said that publicly right here. It ain't no big deal. Girl's still here. I'm not worried about it, right? I just want you all to know that it's what you model. Who do you want to help? In my Instagram profile, then we're done, is that I know exactly who I want to help. I want to help women get fit at life. Do you want to help moms become less stressed? Do you want to help nurses who are overworked and burnt out? That was me. I want to help the teacher that's overworked and burnt out and underpaid. That was my story for a long, long time. Do you want to help? Like, who do you want to help? Make that known and then show up as her. Okay, I'm going to hit end record.